sports and leisure heflings and leisure sports and leisure heflings and leisure sports and leisure with heflings and leisure sports and leisure heflings and leisure sports and leisure heflings and leisure. This is sports and leisure with heflings and leisure. And welcome in, everybody. Episode 41 of Sports and Leisure with Hefling and Heesier. I am Ty Hefling, and with me is Greg Heesier. Greg, how's it going?
Good, you?
Doing good. Doing something a little different today. Greg has joined me by the phone during the day, so hopefully this all works out pretty well. We're going to get into draft talk today, I think. One thing, do you look at mock drafts, Greg?
Not really. I look at the big board and I kind of ponder on things I'm interested in, teams and all that shit.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at a single mock draft.
I kind of glance at them. I usually don't read the whole thing through. I just see who they think the Redskins are going to pick. But like mock drafts, the only reason I look at them is because, it's something NFL just to look at. But like mock drafts, I don't really like them because they're like so. There's no way they're accurate. Like I haven't gone back to look at.
I feel like fucking the biggest expert in the world could do it, and I could sit down for an hour and be just as close because that's how fucking impossible it is to figure.
Exactly. Like it's harder. Maybe not harder, but it's just as hard to get a perfect draft as it is like selecting the NCAA tournament. Like it's just there's so many variables and things that could just change up, things that nobody even knows about. And even the teams that are drafting probably don't even know yet that could happen, that could just throw everything off. And like I said, I've never gone back to look at previous mock drafts to see how they compare, Mel Kiper or what's his name, Todd McShay. I haven't gone back to theirs. I think they take them off actually, just so people can't go back and point out the mistakes they made. But like I said, one person could throw you off, and it just be like the Trubisky trade that the Bears did a couple years ago. Nobody saw the Bears trading up to get Trubisky, and that just threw everything off. And when that happens, all your picks are gone. Like I said,
right.
I mean, nobody thought Jonathan Allen would fall to the Redskins, 3 or 4 years ago. I think that was with the Trubisky trade. He fell to 15 or 16. Nobody thought that was going to happen. So it's impossible to try to predict. So I don't want to get into a mock draft, but I still want us to go through and kind of maybe not select who we think they're going to pick, but if we were them,
give us some options. What we're thinking.
Yeah. Who we would pick if we were in their shoes and whatnot. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. So we'll go back and forth.
We'll be doing that for a few days, probably.
Yeah. You're right. But we'll go back and forth we're going to do all the first 5 picks. We're going to go through all of them, and then we may just hop and skip through the rest of the draft. But first things first, number 1 pick is the Cincinnati Bengals. I think it's kind of a foregone conclusion that they're going to select Joe Burrow. I don't know. I haven't heard anything different. Greg, have you heard anything different? Your inside sources tell you anything?
No, I haven't.
Yes.
Seems logical. He's from Ohio. Cincinnati's in Ohio.
If you were the Bengals, what kind of trade would you have to be looking for to trade back out of that first pick?
3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Or 2 in a fucking Pro Bowler.
Well, I guess it depends on who it is. If it's like somebody else in the first 5, like you said, 3 first-rounders or 2 first-rounders
right.
and a couple 2s. But I'm not going to move back far enough where I can't get another quarterback. If I can't get Tua or I can't get Justin Herbert, I don't want to move back that. I don't want to move back that far.
Justin Herbert.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, after him,
first 4 rounds.
He's going in the first round. He's probably going top 10.
I know, but he's just like that Bills quarterback. He's going to be fucking terrible quarterback. He's athletic enough to handle it.
Well, I mean, he's made the playoffs, and that's not. There are worse options, I think, than Josh Allen.
like maybe a handful.
Would you rather have Josh Allen or Sam Darnold?
I don't know.
Would you rather have Josh Allen or?
I don't know how much the Jets are dragging Darnold down. Everyone seems to think he's good. I mean, Colin Cowherd, he can't go a goddamn episode without bringing him up.
Yeah.
How he likes him. Like, he hasn't shown anything. He didn't show anything at USC. He looked like shit then, too. Well, when he played Notre Dame, anyway.
Well, would you rather have Josh Allen or Mitchell Trubisky?
Josh Allen, because at least he's got the Tebow thing where even if he completely blows as a quarterback, he's got athletic ability to do something. Trubisky has, I mean, he's a quick little fucker, I guess, but yeah. I think he blows.
But like I said, the Bengals, I'm not going past like 7 or 8. I don't really see who would try. The Dolphins, I think they no, I don't think the Dolphins would, unless they're like I have heard rumors that they may try to go after him, and get Burrow. But I'm not going past 6 with the Chargers just because they need a quarterback, and if somebody gets Justin Herbert, then you got a long ways before. I don't even know who the next quarterback is after him. Jordan Love from Utah State.
Yeah,
and he's projected like late first round ish. So,
I mean, would you want to pick an Oregon quarterback? Look at the history of that.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
That's true, but I mean, he could. You never know. Okay, so we're both sold on Joe Burrow, and it's going to take a couple houses and whatnot, truckload of picks to prime me away for number 1. Like I said, nothing further than 6. Okay. Well, obviously, I'll go. We'll separate here. I'll do the Redskins, obviously, because that's my favorite team, and yeah, I mean, they're going to pick Chase Young. I think that's who they should get, just because I can't remember the last time the Redskins have had a dominant or even good defensive end. I think adding him with Allen and Sweat and even Ryan Kerrigan still got some tread left on the wheels. They could have a really good defensive line here if he pans out. But with that being said, I wouldn't be mad if they drafted Tua. I wouldn't be really mad. I mean, they need help all over the board. But honestly, it doesn't matter who the Redskins pick because he's probably going to suck. And that has nothing to do with the player they select. It's just the Redskins' luck that usually whoever they pick just doesn't pan out.
Right, and Chase Young is pretty much the biggest lock in the draft. I mean, I would say like Joe Burrow's up there, but quarterback is never a lock.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, yeah. Well, like I said, it's hopefully he doesn't come to the Redskins' luck and just not pan out as the number 2, because we've seen in the past that happens a lot. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'll go. Go ahead.
Go on. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm going Chase Young, just because you add that, and the Redskins, defensive line could be really good, if he pans out.
So you're thinking him or Tua is what you would lean towards, or you just
hit him or Tua. There really isn't anybody else. I mean, other than that, you have the quarterbacks, and you have the corner from Ohio State, which I don't think would be.
Yeah, Okuda.
Yeah, he might be.
He'd be my second choice if I was the Skins.
Yeah, I'd actually rather have him than Tua, just because I want to see how what's his face, give him some more time, see how he works out with Ron Rivera. But
right, and that's something about being a really shitty team is that if you're not getting the quarterback that you want, you need either an edge rusher or freaking cornerback.
Yeah,
there's literally no other options because those are the two probably biggest, most important things.
Agreed. And especially since they cut Norman, which I'm glad they did that, and they also lost. Their secondary always sucks. Like, they haven't had a good secondary since Sean Taylor died, so that's just another Redskin curse. So we'll move on. You'll get the third pick is the Lions. Lions could go a lot of ways, so I'm interested to kind of see what you would do if you were Matt Patricia and you were the Lions there.
Yeah, well, so for me, I think Stafford's a decent quarterback. I don't know at the second pick if I would be willing to risk for Tua, nor do I think that Tua would be a good fit for the Lions.
Yeah.
And assuming Chase Young has gone to the Redskins, I would pick the cornerback from Ohio State, Jeffrey Okuda.
Yeah.
Just because I think that's just everyone needs a top cornerback, you know.
Yeah, and the
That's
Lions,
why
the Lions
it's hard
do
to be an
have
elite team with that one.
they do have a good offense like that. I mean, with Stafford, since they've had Stafford, they've had pretty decent offensive side of the ball. Like
Right, they have Galladay and they have Marvin Jones Jr. And I mean, I don't think they would need to pick a CD Lamb or a Judy.
yeah, maybe an offensive lineman, maybe, but yeah, their defense has never been good. So they just need to get Jeffrey Okuda from Ohio State. They always put out really good corners. So I think get that, especially since they lost Slay. They're gonna need somebody, a franchise guy, to replace him. So yeah, I think that's a good overall pick, and hopefully you
I
can
like
go wrong with
Isaiah
that.
Simmons for them too, but they just got Jamie Collins, and he's already kind of that hybrid linebacker type guy that can do a lot of things. So I don't know, it'd be a little overloading.
Yeah, well, like what you just said, if you on the defensive side of the ball, you need an edge rusher and you need a corner. Like those are just two things that you can't skimp on, and when you got a good one, it really changes things for your whole team. So yeah, get him, and I think that locks down, not locks down the secondary, but it's a big help. So all right, so that makes me going number 4 to the Giants. The Giants could do that. They don't need a quarterback, like the Lions and like not like the Redskins, but they need help defensive wise and on the offensive line. So they could go, Tristan Wirf, which I think would be big, especially with that new quarterback that they just got. You need, another lineman that can stick with him and be with him for his career. So yeah, I'm going to go Tristan Wirf there with the Giants. Get him, lock down that line, get you a good blindside tackle that can be there for however long you have that quarterback there, and then hopefully and then some. There has been talks, that they may try to trade up to get the Bengals number 1 pick, and not for Burrow, but to get Chase Young from the Redskins. But I think that'd be too much.
Why would they try to get the Skins pick then?
Well, the Redskins aren't going to trade for them. Aren't going to trade with them to get the guy that they want. So they'd have to get the Bengals pick.
Right. Yeah, you're right. They would.
But I don't think that's. I think that's too far out of the realm of possibilities just for them to do that and just to get Chase Young.
What a shit division.
Yeah.
2 of the top 3 picks are in that division. That's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, both East divisions, the AFC and the NFC, are probably like the worst divisions in football. Like. The NFC probably definitely. The AFC, especially with Tom Brady leaving, the Patriots kind of like it. Without, it's not looking good for that. That division is going to be down, I think, this year. So yeah. Once again, Giants getting Tristan Wirf there. I think that's a good pick. Solidify that line because they gave up a lot of sacks and you always need a good tackle. So
I'd say so too. With that new quarterback they drafted, it'd be
What's
hard
his,
not to. Otherwise,
is
that guy from Georgia, that tackle, can't think of his name, but
Andrew Thompson. Andrew Thomas.
Thomas, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's the Giants quarterback? I can't even think of his name right now.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. That's right. Okay. All right. Well, that brings
Eli Manning doppelganger.
Yeah. His son.
I'd be down to go 4 through 5 too if you got time for that. Otherwise, we'd save it for later.
No, no. You got the Dolphins, so go ahead with what you do with the Dolphins.
Okay, I didn't know if you were stopping at 3 or.
No. Keep on going with the Dolphins. You got the Dolphins.
Well, what about the 4 pick?
I got the Giants were 4.
Okay.
The Giants had the 4th, and I picked Tristan Wirf.
So it's the Bengals, the Redskins,
the Lions, the
Giants,
and now.
Okay, gotcha. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
That's okay. Number 5 is the Dolphins, and that's for you. So
number 5,
the Dolphins. Well, they got. I'm interested to see what they do with this draft because they got a bunch of picks. They could do some trading. Like I said, they have the ammo to trade up to 1 if they want to. So I don't know if that's.
They have another first rounder, right?
Yeah. They have the Steelers. Where's that at? I'm not sure. I think it's like the 15th or 14th or something like. No, it's not. It's further than that. Like the 21st. So
they just picked up Van Noy from
yeah, but I mean, so what are you gonna do?
Right?
What are you gonna do with the Dolphins?
Well, that's what I'm sifting through right now. I'm thinking because I like that Isaiah Simmons, but I think they just got Van Noy, and that's
their top needs from what I'm looking at is quarterback, offensive tackle, interior offensive line, safety, edge rusher, running back, tackle. So I mean, linebacker is pretty far down.
No, I got a pretty idea of what I'm thinking for them. I was looking at the big board thinking Isaiah Simmons because I'm kind of excited to see what he does because I don't think that Okuda is really like necessarily a Jalen Ramsey or like Stephon Gilmore shutdown type of guy, but he's really good. But I said a while back that I wouldn't even draft Tua in the first round, but it's because of the injury shit. But I'm starting to think that I might think that's a good idea for the Dolphins because he's a smart quarterback. He gets rid of the ball fast, and he's not.
Yeah.
But he's injured all the fucking time.
But I mean,
so
you don't even have to
drop.
You don't even have to play him though because you got Ryan Fitzpatrick.
But you don't want to bust on your 5th overall pick though either.
That's not necessarily a bust. He could wait a year and go back and play.
Yeah, but he's been injured like 4 times in the last like 2 years. So
yeah. Well, so then if you're not going to pick Tua, are you going to go with Tua or who are you going with?
I would go with Tua. Otherwise, I would go with that fucking CD Lamb from Oklahoma. Because I think they could wait and get an offensive tackle with their, whatever you said, their 12th pick or whatever the hell they got.
Yeah. So you're going to go Tua. Okay. So you're going Tua then. All right. I think going with Tua for the Dolphins is good because, like I said, you don't have to play him. If he's injured or you think you have any concerns about him, he can sit and learn, and he can start halfway through. Like I mean, the Dolphins they got a lot of options. Like they are looking. I mean, compared to where we thought the Dolphins were going to be this time last year, they're looking really good. And
they're going to be dynamite here. Give them a year or two, they're going to be awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm excited to see what they do with all this. So, next is the Chargers. And if I was the Chargers, I'm trying to trade up. Like I'm trying to get ahead of the Dolphins to try and get Tua, or I'm gonna try and get Joe Burrow from the Bengals. I don't think they have the picks though to try and pull that off. And
no one's trading up to number 1. I just think that's like,
yeah.
I just think it's a
it's a lot. I agree. It is a lot, but I'm still gonna at least try. I'm gonna make a call to the Bengals, and see what it is. And it probably is too much to try and risk your franchise for Joe Burrow, who might be worth it. And they may need him because they're moving to LA and they need to sell tickets. But
what benefit does a team have by trading? Like, what are they going to gain that's going to be enough for them to sacrifice possibly having their quarterback for the next 15 years?
But the Chargers have a good team. They have a great offense. They need help.
The Bengals don't give a fuck about that.
No, they don't. But I'm just saying, if I was the Chargers, are you talking about being the Bengals?
I'm saying, why would they ever allow that trade? I'm not saying the Chargers wouldn't be down for it. I mean,
Well, no, I mean, like I said, I'm not if I'm the Bengals unless it's a deal that you can't pass up, like 4 1s or a couple like 3 1s and like 3 2s and whatnot. And like I said, I'm not moving past the Bengals. I mean, I'm not moving further than the Chargers just so I can get a quarterback this year too. So, but the Chargers, like I said, I'm going to try and move up, but we're not going to plan those trades just because they're unpredictable. I'm going to try and maybe they can move up with the trade with the Giants and get ahead of the Dolphins and get Tua. But since they're not, I'm going to have to get Justin Herbert. Like just draft him. You can't. Tyrod Taylor's not going to be your future quarterback for the next 5 years. He is a stopgap at best. Unless they just want to use Tyrod Taylor and draft not a quarterback and then just tank for what's his face? What's his name? The Clemson quarterback.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and if that's what they want to do, but I mean, we've seen before teams that try to tank usually don't. Like we thought the Dolphins were tanking last year, and well, the ironic thing is they're at 5 and they still might get Tua, who they were tanking for to begin with. But like I said, the Chargers, I'm going with Justin Herbert. Get him kind of solidified, get you a quarterback that you can deal with now that you're without Phillip Rivers, and move on from there. So that's what I'm going with. They could maybe get that offensive lineman, that tackle from Louisville who ran like. Did he run under 5? He ran about 5 or under 5 for his forward. He was really good. He looked really good. But I'm gonna go.
Remember his name?
It's Mekhi Becton or something like that. His last name is Becton. Mekhi Becton, I think. I think that's how you pronounce it. So, but yeah. All right. So that's what I'm going with for the Chargers. You got number 7, the Panthers. The Panthers, their team needs are interior defensive lineman, corner, linebacker, offensive lineman, receiver. So they need lines on both sides and some defense. So now would be good. I guess a good time to get your Isaiah Simmons guy there, or get Becton. So who do you think?
Who do I think for who? Sorry, I had to move over a little bit.
The Panthers. You got the Panthers at number 7.
Boy, I wouldn't take any of the quarterbacks out of last. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, and the next quarterback I think is that dude from Utah State. Yeah, Jordan Love.
Yeah, or what would they need?
They need interior defensive linemen, corners, linebackers, interior offensive linemen, wide receiver.
Okay, sold then. I would go Isaiah Simmons then.
Yeah, that's what I think so too. Especially with Kuechly retiring, just get somebody hopefully that can replace him. And I think he's not built like Kuechly. You know, Kuechly's like an old school linebacker, like just big cowboy collar kind of dude that is a really good run stopper. And can somewhat get into coverage, but I think Simmons is more of like an edge rusher. Maybe he can pass coverage a little better. But yeah, I think I'd probably do the same if I were you. Get him.
I'd almost say that the Chargers might pick him up before that.
Okay, well if he's gone, then I'd go for either Becton or Derek Brown from Auburn.
Yeah.
But okay, well, so you're going Isaiah Simmons then for the Panthers?
I think so. I don't know. I already picked him for someone else, I think. But
no, you picked Tua for the Dolphins.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty safe pick.
Yeah.
He might go before that, but who knows?
Well, I mean, like you said, the Dolphin. I mean, the Chargers are really the only ones that maybe the Giants, if they don't want Tristan Wirfs, they may go for Isaiah Simmons. I mean, not the Dolphins, the Giants. Yeah, I say the Giants. Yeah, the Giants can maybe get him if they don't get Tristan. But if I was the Giants, I'd get Tristan. So I mean, if he's there at 7 for the Panthers,
well, the Giants' defense is really awful, so they might.
Yeah.
It depends on what they're feeling, because if they get that tackle or Isaiah Simmons, I think either one they're going to be pretty happy with.
Well, yeah. So the Panthers and Giants, that pick could flip-flop is what we're going with, I think.
Yep.
Because they both need defense and they both need linemen. So, yeah, Simmons and Wirfs could definitely flip-flop, and I agree with you on that one. So that makes me 8. The Cardinals, who I said last episode that I think they won free agency. So let's see if they can put together a good draft. The Cardinals could be, I don't want to say much improved just because they did improve a lot last year, but they could double that improvement and probably still be 3rd or 4th in their division, because they got that NFC West is one of the top 2 divisions in my opinion overall. So, but with the Cardinals, they need offensive linemen or they need an edge rusher, huh?
Or who they pick up for receiver? They got Brandon Cooks. Or no, that's the time.
They got DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go just an
Very well.
easy, simple pick. Give me Becton from Louisville, who I was just talking about. Like I said, solidify that line. Get somebody that can really block for the quarterback. I'm just blanking on names today.
Well,
Kyler
yeah,
Murray.
Kyler.
Yeah,
Well, I would go Andrew Thomas, the tackle from Georgia, over that Becton.
I'm gonna keep Becton though because, like I said, I think he's a speedy, fast guy, and they're gonna have Murray do a lot of bootlegs and stuff like that, and getting him out of the pocket. And I think you need
Yeah, for sure.
a fast guy that can get out there, like Trent Williams. So who knows? Maybe they'll trade for Trent Williams for the Redskins and give the Redskins that pick. It'd be great.
I think Becton's a little bit of a reach for that 8th overall, but
Well, you'd go Andrew Thomas then.
who?
You'd go that
Andrew
tackle.
Thomas?
Yeah, from
There's a tackle for who is it? Bama too. That's pretty good. It's hard to say. I'm not really a good fat boy observer
Jedrick Wilson
talent, so it's not really my area of knowing anything about.
Jedrick Willis. He's that tackle from Alabama.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with any offensive defensive lineman from Alabama. I feel like, or a wide receiver or an offensive defensive lineman from Alabama. It seems to always be,
right. If I didn't, yeah,
almost
I
a slam
about them
dunk.
getting Hopkins.
Yeah. All right.
So
Well, that puts you at number 9, the Jaguars. So from looking at them, their team needs are interior defensive linemen, corner, safety. They got quarterback on here and wide receiver. So
yeah, they might just have to pick the best guy available because I don't know. They got that DJ Chark. He's pretty good, but I think if I was them, I'd go CD Lamb.
Yeah, I would. I would probably agree with you on that. They need. I can't name any of their wide receivers. Who'd you just say?
Chark, Marquise Lee.
Yeah, but Jacksonville hasn't had a good. They haven't had a good wide receiving crew since Allen Robinson and dang, what was that other dude's name? When they had those
Allen Hearns.
Yeah, the Allens.
And even 4 or 5 years now. 4 years.
Yeah, so going with CD Lamb, I think that's good. Like I just said, wide receiver or anybody from Alabama is usually a slam dunk pick unless it's a quarterback.
Right.
Just about.
Yeah, even that Ruggs, they could pick the Ruggs guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm the biggest Judy guy. I don't know. I like him, but I feel like he's almost going to be like a Brandon Cooks type character that he's not really going to set him over the top. And I don't know if that's the top 10 pick.
Yeah. Well, so you got CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma with Jaguars, and I think that's good. Give Gardner Minshew somebody to throw to, and whatnot. So
I'd give him that Chasen from LSU as well because they lost. They lost their edge rusher this year, and their run defense is so fucking pitiful last year.
Yeah. Well, that takes me to the Browns at number 10, and I am going to. I don't know if this is just how it's fallen or if I'm just being prejudiced, but I'm going to pick a tackle that Jedrick Willis from Alabama for the Browns, just because we saw last year how terrible that offensive line was and how much help Baker needed. They don't need wide receiver. I think you still give Odell Beckham and Jarvis. Give them another year or so to kind of mesh and work well together. I don't see them drafting a quarterback again. Maybe they could get an edge rusher, in case Garrett flies off the handle again. You made it, but they still have a good defensive line.
Yeah, they give that Kinlaw.
Yeah.
Well, he's an interior guy, I think.
Who?
But that Javon Kinlaw from South Carolina.
Yeah. I see him now. Well, I'd go. Derek Brown is still on there from Auburn. He's really good. But like I said, the Browns have needed offensive line since Joe Thomas retired, 2-3 years ago. So I think you get that guy from Alabama. Hopefully that fixes that. And the one thing about linemen is, especially on the offense line, if you get one good one that can kind of take over, that could really change a lot of things. It makes for a better offensive line if you can just add in one good guy. Everybody else kind of falls in line. So yeah.
Right.
So number 10, I'm gonna go Jedrick Willis from Alabama for the Browns. So
Jedrick Willis. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I would second that. I can't think of a better pick for him.
Okay. Well, good. And that is going to be it for part 1 of our mock draft here on Sports and Leisure. We're going to break it up into a few segments here so you guys aren't bombarded with a 2-hour episode of just the first round of our mock draft. We're going to release them out each segment, though, every day. So starting with today, we'll have one out tomorrow and then finish it off the first round on Thursday before it starts. And then we may put out another episode where we just quickly go into some other draft topics. Maybe not a mock draft of, like second and through the 7th round, but some draft questions, who we think are some sleepers and who we think are busts, and, who could potentially have a bad draft, and so on and so forth. And especially with everything that's going on, how it's going to be viewed and what all is happening with everybody going to be doing it online. There could be some extra talking points with that too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part 1. Tune in tomorrow for part 2. Hope you guys have a good day.